Fugett. Thanks so much for coming in. It's great having you here.
Thank you, Bruce.
And what an exciting time. Dallas Week, as we call it here, and you know this, you're a local guy, a Baltimore guy, went to college here, got a family law degree here in D.C.
Yes.
You know what this rivalry means, but this week, with so much on the line, the stars have really aligned in a perfect manner.
Well, this is really special for me. I played in 17 Washington Redskins Dallas Cowboy games, and every game was unique. But this week reminds me so much of the last game I played in 1979 when we lost 35-34. We had a 2-touchdown lead.
We being
the Redskins.
Okay.
And John Riggins had broke for about a 40-some-yard touchdown, and we had a 2-touchdown lead with a couple minutes left. We ended up losing the game, but we still had a chance, Bruce, to make the playoffs. We had a 33-point differential. In those days, it was points. And that Sunday, we had to watch the Bears win 40-3 to the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals had their bags packed. So even losing, we had a chance and still didn't make the playoffs. And it was a sad ending to my career.
How surprised are you at the way this Washington Redskins team has played over the last month and a half?
Well, I know Mr. Snyder's got a lot of criticism over the past, but this starts at the top. And I think his decision to hire Coach Shanahan, his decision to bring in Bruce Allen, who certainly understands the Redskin tradition. We used to chase him out of the equipment room back in the day. And to have that kind of tradition brought back, I think the young players really understand tradition. Do you know that when Bruce signs a player and assigns him a number, he tells the player who used to wear that number? And I don't know how many organizations do that. This is a special place to play, and I'm so fortunate to have had a chance to do so.
But even Coach Shanahan, seen at least publicly, who knows what was going on in terms of his own thoughts and his own beliefs. But after the loss to Carolina, when he talked about going into evaluation mode, I think the broad belief was that they had missed out on a chance to be in contention this year, and yet we've seen this remarkable turnaround.
Well, that comment was quite a wake-up call, and I think a lot of people overtook what he was saying, because he's always in that mode, and he's always trying to figure out how to tweak the team, how to make the team better, and how to get it to improve. This is pretty much a young team. You have a core of veterans, but you got a lot of young guys that the last time they had a big game, it was in college, and I guess that's the same for Robert, too. Huh?
What do you, when you look at in a row, a complete turnaround, hottest team in the NFL right now, maybe not the best hottest. What has contributed to the turnaround?
Well, I think what has contributed to the turnaround is the fact that they started to play together as a team, and people didn't see them coming the way they did. There's a number of things. It's the offense that they use is very unique in the NFL. It makes it very difficult for a defensive team to prepare, and the defense has played a lot better under Coach Haslam than many expected.
Everyone knew Robert Griffin III would be fantastic. I don't think everyone expected him to be a Pro Bowler in his first year.
Well, everybody knew that he was an Olympic hurdler, but they didn't know that he had an Olympic mind. And when I made the Cowboys, I was a 338 player pick, and I asked 5 days why I made the team. He said, well, you learned the playbook in 2 days. So really, it's the smartest players that go out and do the best, and the Redskins are fortunate to have some very intelligent ball players.
Every play, it seems as though one of 3 things is possible, and you can see the impact it's having on defenses around the league. Griffin working out of the pistol much of the time, looks as though he could hand off, looks as though he could run either way, or he could drop back into a more of a full drop back position and throw. And the impact that's having on the linebackers, and them being in proper position as the play continues to unfold, it's been a real potent.
Well, it's been real unique, and I really hope that the fans enjoyed it this year, because we're not going to be seeing that as time goes. We're going to be seeing less and less run by the quarterback. Now, there's always going to be the threat that he can, but we'd like him to play 10 years. And the reason why teams do not run that offense is because a quarterback can't play 16 games, and Robert Griffin already proved that.
You don't think that's a sustaining strategy?
No, it's not. You can't play 16 games and get hit like this. You only got hit 1 time in this game. So if you can do that, you see more teams doing it. But you got to be 6'5" like Cam Newton or very fast like Robert, and still, every time he takes the ball, you're taking a big risk.
Much more of our conversation with former Redskin and Cowboy tight end Gene Fugett in a moment. For those of you watching After Dark, the rest of the show is awaiting you online at news8newstalk.com. We're back with more.
Thanks. And he was on Channel 9.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, when he came here, he wrote for the Washington Post, and then he was the first African American anchor at Channel 9, WUSA. So he did the sports desk and worked with Maureen Bunyan actually, and then he was on WTM Sports Radio, which is now ESPN 980. He had a show and was #1 for about a year in the 7 to 10 p.m. time slot. So he's done it. So he was on CBS. He did color commentary for CBS with Dan Dierdorf. So he's a natural. He's really a natural.
What kind of law does he do?
Primarily like in business and entertainment,
Okay.
but he has partners he works with, do a lot of workers' comp, personal injury, stuff like that too. So yeah.
Hi, how are you? Great tie.